just about to get our night underway here at the Red Bluff Outlaws for this year's Tyler Wolf Memorial. You can see the staging area and our pit area behind me. It's about to get real busy as the night is underway. I just got into my fire suit, and this is a Sunday show here at the Red Bluff Outlaws. I think we have almost 170 karts in the pit area. It's going to be a packed house and a fun night of action. Before we kind of get things rolling, I want to tell you about the race car driver that we are honoring tonight for the race. So for years on the channel, you guys have heard me talk about this race, the Tyler Wolf Memorial. I've actually personally won it twice in the open class. Would like to make it 3 today, but here's a little signed tribute on the backstretch. You can see Tyler Wolf. Unfortunately, he passed in 2012, but he was one of the great outlaw car drivers that came out of Red Bluff. He's the youngest 410 sprint car champion to this day at the Silver Dollar Speedway. That's just right down the road, but it's cool when we have races like this that honor some of the greats that came before us and, you know, molded Red Bluff into what it is today. So now that you know a little bit more about tonight's show, we got in our fire suit, got in the 18T, and things are now fired up. Getting a little bit of engine heat now before we roll out for qualifying. These first few laps are on the clock are very, very important. You want to try to qualify as best you can to try to set yourself up to have a successful night. I swear, man, qualifying here at Red Bluff is, I don't know how after all these years I sometimes still just can't always figure it out. I'm not sitting terrible, I think my lap could have been a little better. The track's pretty rough. After about 12 cars, we're sitting third. We were fastest after I went. To be clear, I'm just talking about always being that much better. Our lap time's not bad, it's just the track's kind of rough and you have to play a game of zigzagging through the holes to get a good lap, and it's really easy to hit them and upset your car. So I don't know, I thought like we had good speed and my car felt okay. It's just my first lap, my car got upset, and once I ruined my first lap, you only get 3 times around, so you kind of have to go from pushing really hard, or you have to make sure you get a good lap or something solid to set up your night. So anyway, right now we're sitting third. Hopefully we can stay in the top 10. Maybe our lap will hold on, maybe we'll drop. I don't really know, it's hard to judge. Everybody's right in the same category, which is high 8-second bracket, low 9s, and like I said, I think we're all going to be that far apart, so it's always about getting every inch you can. I thought our lap was solid, wasn't perfect. I'll update you guys though on where we shake up and where that's going to put us going into a heat race. So we held on for a solid lap in qualifying, ended up 6th quick. Now they're out there trying to work the racetrack. Developed a massive hole entering turn 3. It's almost like it was packed together and then it kind of started to come apart, and as guys ran, like the hole just got cleaner and cleaner and cleaner, and more material was thrown up the track, which then makes the hole deeper, harder to run, and our little go-karts without suspension go over that thing and bike up or almost tip over. It's pretty gnarly and definitely makes the racetrack difficult for us to run. You definitely don't want to go through the hole. You got to try to straddle it, or you got to be above it or below it. But we're moving into a heat race now. We're going to start second row inside, qualifying 6th quick. It was a solid lap. We did exactly what we needed to do, and now we got to try to transfer through this heat race. They're going to be taking the top 2. They're finishing some track prep now. I'm happy that our heat race is the next thing on track because I don't know if that prep, they're calling us, but I don't know if the prep is going to hold on too long. Luckily, we'll be the first cars out, so I think it'll be okay for a few laps, but usually once a racetrack starts getting rough, until you really are able to fully prep it and go through it again, it usually just tends to continue to get rougher and rougher, but we'll see what happens. We got to try to run top 2 though in this heat race, whatever we got to do. Got to be smart, 8 laps, try to go from row 2 to row 1. guys. I ran hard. I gave it all I had. Obviously, it wasn't a perfect heat race. It's hard to run a perfect 8 laps, but in general, I felt like I gave myself a good opportunity. I threw 2 sliders for second. I think if I could have got to second on the start, we had 1 lap in a yellow, then maybe that would have changed the game for me. But just had a really hard heat race. Had a lot of good cars, and I wasn't necessarily in a prime spot being second row inside. You're just stuck down there. Of course, too, our lane did not get a good start. I almost thought the outside kind of jumped, and we just, then I'm just sitting like no momentum going into 1, and you're trying to catch up from there, and there's nothing I can do. I'm at mercy of the guys in front of me. So anyway, is what it is. We ran third. We ran hard. Just kind of watching the rest of the heats. I thought my car was pretty good. Like I said, tried to be aggressive. Maybe if I could have, done a few things differently, the race would have played out. You just don't know. But all you can do is drive hard and do your best to try to get a transfer spot in a few laps, and we'll get ready for the B main. We should be starting up front. So they're taking a break in the action. We just won the open B main event from the front row. Kind of just cruised around for 15 laps and never want to be in a B. If there is any positive though, just from those laps I got on the track, is I feel like those might have been some of my best of the season. Just a chance to be out front, no different than if you were leading an A, and was able to kind of run hard through the middle. We kind of worked on getting my car a lot tighter, and as you can tell just by seeing behind me, it's pretty slick. And now walking down to 1 and 2, you can kind of see an up close look at the track. A lot of guys running the bottom, and then the top's not as defined. It's kind of just through the middle, and you can see this layer of dust, just so much dirty material sitting here at the top of the track. If you get up here, you're very liable to spin out. There's also a couple of rough spots that have been keeping guys lower. I don't know, just an interesting racetrack. I think they're gonna work it before our feature. We're gonna be starting 11th tonight, so we're deep. We need to move forward. We need things to go our way. Also with that though, we have to run a good race. Just really out here checking out the track. It's just, I feel like compared to years past, I've really talked about how I feel like it's just a little choppy, a little rough, a lot of guys bouncing around, and you can really just put together smooth laps. You can build speed. We have fans yelling here in the background, but anyway, I don't know, just out here trying to do some due diligence. It always helps to walk the track, and just glad we're in tonight's show after not getting through the heat race, and now we got our work cut out for us to move forward in the A. So we are just about ready to roll for 30 laps inside the Pauline Davis Pavilion for this year's Tyler Wolf Memorial. The 18T is going to be rolling off from 11th. I think a good goal is to work towards the podium in the top 5. I think if we can get up front, like the racing's a lot different than just being mid-pack and farther back. It's really difficult when you have guys kind of in every lane, but when you get to the clean track, you can actually move around and use a little bit more of your horsepower. The racetrack, even though they worked it, is starting to slick and back off, so it's probably going to be pretty dusty, pretty dirty, and I think it's going to be very slow. Even in traffic, if I can keep a good pace and good throttle control like I was able to in the B, I think our car feels solid. It's just like I said, trying to get clean track. You also got to have luck and things go your way. You got to run a good race, so that's what I'm focused on, and definitely would like to give ourselves an opportunity to win tonight. It's hard to do it from deep, but it's definitely possible. You never know what to expect inside this building, so we're gonna go give them all we got for 30 laps. as you've been riding with me, you see that it has been a challenge in this main event. Just trying to get going, trying to kind of break through. And now watch as I run the top here for a couple of laps, just trying to make any progress, can't get anywhere. And then the second that I drop to the bottom, my bad luck continues and end up backwards. And then just a lap later, as I'm just trying to kind of see how things play out. Luckily I snuck through that, but definitely got a little left front damage. So we just got about 2 laps to go here. You can see my teammate right in front of me, and these guys are racing pretty hard. Just trying to, you know, I mean, still running hard myself, trying to run the bottom, run the top, like see if I can get anything out of my car and get anything out of the track, and just wasn't able to move forward with not a lot of laps to go. And here, just trying to get to the checkered, car blows up in front of me, and that, I feel like, kind of sums up my race. Luckily, kept the clutch in and brought it home in 12th. Well, it's a Sunday night, so we're trying to get out of here pretty quick. We got 3 hours back to Oregon, get ready for the week tomorrow. Just sitting here inside the Red Bluff Outlaws, a place that I have loved throughout my career. We probably should just talk tomorrow. I don't really have anything great to say. I have no idea where I finished. I felt like the A, just about everything that could have not went my way did. I did make a few mistakes with the choose cone on restarts and gave up some positions. It's so hard to read when you're that far back and you're trying to count where everyone goes, and I just misjudged, I think, twice and gave up a row. So that hurt me, but regardless, just being in the back, man, it's basically a gong show. People might say I'm whining and complaining. It's just it's hard to pass. The racetrack's, like I said, it's very difficult to get around anyone. It's super dirty, and back there you're kind of just literally you're trying to just watch and see if guys in front of you are even going to hold a straight line. I think I had 2 different cars spin out in front of me. My right front went from pointed like this to pointed like that. Like I said, yeah, just a lot of frustration with the track, with the passing, with how the race went. I don't know. I feel like we just don't have luck on our side right now to start this season, and I feel like I don't know if I've really done a great job either. It's just so hard to say. On top of everything too, it's difficult to come from the back. That's kind of been what we've talked about every video so far at Red Bluff. Trying to start 11th through 16th and even like 8th on back. It's difficult. You got to get to clean track where you can race, where you can really just get rolling and be around guys that are going okay, and not, you know, guys that, like I said, cannot barely go in a straight line. So just frustrating with myself, frustrated with how things have went, and unfortunately that's just Red Bluff. I feel like we're just on this weird string to start the year that I don't feel like I have the greatest speed. I haven't been able to get through heats, and just kind of some of my positioning's been off. You know, like I said, with luck, and then you know, some of it's in my hands as well. I'll own that. So I'm not really sure, but at the end of the day, you just got to keep digging. That's racing, and probably just need to come back. And like I said, I mean, you got to be so aggressive here, and aggressive in some bad ways. Some guys, just like I said, they end up straight in the side of you, and that's the only way they're going to pass you, because there just wasn't as much passing. So anyway, we're going to head back to Southern Oregon. That's my frustration, and I don't know what you guys think, but it's just yeah, not a lot of great to say after that race.